Member for Mount Waverley.
Thank you, Speaker. And I rise with delight to speak on the Rail Safety Legislation Amendment, Service Delivery Transfer and Related Reforms Bill 2019. It's a great title, isn't it? It's good. A bit of a cracker. And I'd like to thank the previous members for their contribution, and I'll try not to throw any rocks from this not-so-cheap seat. We all use and rely upon our railways every day, and to transport us and our goods and our people and our friends and family around this great state of Victoria, but also further on. And trains get us to work and they get us home, and they connect us to our family and our friends. And so we want to know that our family and our friends and our train and rail workers and tram workers are safe. That pretty well goes without saying. So I'd like to congratulate the Minister for Public Transport and the Minister for Transport Infrastructure, who spoke very well before, on their significant work that's been done on our rail network, from our level crossing removals to our fantastic and visionary suburban rail loop, which I'll get back to that. I'm a bit of a fanboy. So the nuts and bolts of this bill. Well, this bill, the objectives are to reduce administrative complexity and eliminate fragmentation of regulatory responsibility between Transport Safety Victoria and the Office of National Rail Safety Regulator. We eliminate duplication of administrative systems and enable cost savings to progressively realise. So we're cutting red tape. So that should get some general consent, I would have thought. Sounds like a good idea. And enable the final stage of regulatory harmonisation benefits to be delivered to industry stakeholders following the establishment of the National Rail Safety Regulator in 2012. So we're all in for harmonisation around here. Whilst this bill moves the safety regulation of our network to the Office of the National Rail Safety Regulator, I know that our government will continue to also prioritise the safety of our network, as can be seen on projects like our very, very popular level crossing removal program, which again I'll come back to because that's a cracker, and I will. Member for Ringwood is waiting with bated breath there, and I appreciate his patience on this exciting diatribe that I'm all giving you. And the bill will conclude those processes, as I said, and the intergovernmental agreement signed by COAG in 2011 established this national scheme of rail safety regulation. And in 2014, the Victorian government made the move to enter our heavy rail operations into the national scheme. And now in 2019, we're making a full transition of all our Victorian railways. Joining this national scheme of rail safety regulation will bring our state's safety regulation practice into line of that with the nation, and this will be handled out of South Australia, as others have mentioned. Removing any convolution, this amendment means that the National Rail Safety Regulator will take over full responsibility from TSV. This will see the end to our duplicated administrative systems, as I said, to cut red tape and generally be a good idea. Now, for the plethora of exciting rail projects that we have started and planned, it's important that here in Victoria we have the best regulators of rail safety guiding us in our practices. And I noticed that the staff who currently work for TSV will continue their great work and use those skills that we have obviously benefited from by now working for the Office of the National Regulator. So the rail projects that we are talking about here, the Metro Tunnel, what a fantastic idea that is. We're going to take a whole heap out of the city loop, and that's just going to be better for everyone and move more people more often. Regional Rail Revival, Melbourne Airport Rail, and a bit of a shout out to my daughter's piano teacher at this, because when I spoke to her about October last year, she said, "Oh yeah, that's right, there's an election coming up because I've heard people talking about airport rail." Well, Dot, if you're listening, I can happily tell you that that thought process will have to stop fairly soon because we would have built it, and then we won't be able to talk about it anymore because it'll be done. And it'll be the Andrews Labor government who gets that done. So I reckon Dot will be pretty happy with that news. Now, Sunbury rail upgrade. Remember, Sunbury's left the room, but I'm sure he's pretty happy about that one. Fast rail to Geelong. We've got some Geelong members, Bellarine, South Barwon, Lara, they're going to be excited. And last but certainly not least, the suburban rail loop, of which I said I'm a little bit of a fanboy, and I unashamedly so. We had the Premier at Monash Uni last week announcing the preferred interchange stations, and lo and behold, Glen Waverley is one of them. They had this map on an easel. It was so exciting. I almost felt like grabbing an armchair, sitting down with a bag of popcorn and just staring at it for 90 minutes. That's how encouraging it is. A coffee as well? A copy. Well, I could take it home. I could do that. That's a great idea. I'll have to get one of those. So suburban rail loop will drastically change Melbourne as we know it, and especially for those of us in the east. And we will be connecting all of our hospitals, all of our unis. Just the idea that the hospitality and business sectors in Glen Waverley, which will grow and grow and grow as a result of this, will be connected to Monash Uni, Deakin Uni, La Trobe Uni, the hospitals at Heidelberg, Monash Hospital, which we're going to have a brand new ED, as we said, we're working on that. Very exciting stuff. And so we, the Andrews Labor government, understand and respect the need to have the best possible safety regulators, body and control as we push ahead with our forward-thinking and visionary plans for Victoria's rail system. And from fast rail to all of the other things I've talked about. Lots of things, lots and lots and lots of things. But don't forget jobs. Because in all of these projects there are jobs. And as a parent, you want to know that your kids are going to have jobs when they grow up, because you want them to be hopefully more prosperous than you are. And the way we do that is through jobs. And this, we had some regional members talking about some of their thoughts. But we have a regional unemployment rate of 3.7%. So the economy is doing well and jobs are being created. And that's a fantastic thing that we should be very happy and proud of. So this national law was initially introduced in the host of South Australia. At the time, didn't have a Privacy Act, and so there were some mechanisms in the original bill that meant it relied on our Victorian privacy law. And since then, I think April 2018, nationally we adopted to use the national privacy law. So part of the minutiae of this bill is to remove the reference to that Victorian Privacy Act, as it's no longer relevant. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned, and I've got a little under 2 minutes, so let's throw this in there, is level crossing removal. You can't tell me, and nobody would try to, I imagine, but you can't tell me that by removing level crossings we're not affecting the safety of our rail network, because we are. If you take out the possibility of a person or a car coming anywhere near a train, obviously it's safer. And that's what this government did when it came in 4 years ago. It said we're going to get rid of, I think 20 was the original thought, wasn't it? Well, we smashed that. We did 28. We've done 29 now. We're going to do 75 level crossings by 2025. And in 2016 on the Glen Waverley line, we saw Burke Road level crossing removed and Gardner Station put under there. And I know myself from when I used it at the time, much better, much quicker, driving around Burke Road, so much easier. We should. We'll go get coffee or something. Now, let's not forget though that the biggest excitement on the Glen Waverley line as far as level crossings is the removal of the Toorak Road level crossing that I know the member for Hawthorn is very excited about, and I am too, because that intersection has been the bane of a lot of people's lives for many a time, and we're going to get rid of it. This is all to do with the safety of our rail network and connecting our states to a national plan. And there is no doubt in my mind about the benefits of improving the safety of our rail network. And we're, the Andrews Labor government, getting stuff done safely and on time, and I commend the bill to the House.